make my layered flowers. So what you're looking at right now actually started off as the a star, and then I managed to add a whole bunch more of the corners to it. And once I have my shape in place, I convert it into the a pass, right? And pass is basically when you take what is essentially, I guess, an image file and you convert it into the SVG. Um, and then I try to manipulate every single one of the petal to get it to be the right size that I need to do. The problem sometimes is that depends on how many petals I'm trying to squeeze in. When I convert the shape into the pass, the lines overlap, and then I have to manually get rid of them, right? But I still need my cut lines, and that's what you guys see me do right now. This is just, I'm moving and attaching one by one. So, I use an application called Gravit Designer. It's lovely. I got into it, many years ago when it used to be free and got bought out by a Corel suit, I believe. And you do have to have a pro version for some of the features. But it's still a pretty good deal, and I can see that my star is a little bit off, right? That you can see it like I feel like that maybe I have more petals than my star, and my cut lines are not going to be the best. So I'm just going to finish this. Yeah, I definitely need um, more points in my star. But I guess what I wanted for you guys to see is that it's not always so straightforward and so simple. As in, like, you get a pen and draw it. I definitely would say that working on, let's do this together. Let's count how many petals I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, right? So I have my 18 petals, and I should have my, let me see how many. Oh, that's what it is, guys. See? So if you notice, right, like my cut lines start to be pretty straightforward, like looks reasonable, but then it starts to go off like slightly, and this is just, skewed too much to one side. The reason to that is, I'm using a different shape to help me to keep everything aligned and to have my cut line straight. However, because I did not set my star to have exactly the same number of points as my petals, like essentially my, each one of my petals is a point, my connections are off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust this. So I'm going to say, like, well, what I need is 18, and then I'm going to have to start to realign everything again, and hopefully, and I think this one is going to be much better if it goes over here. This one will go need to here. And, basically I sit here and like manually muck around with it until I get it right. So it's not perfect, and I think that if I had understood the tool maybe like a little bit better, I would have easier time with it. But I don't, I'm self-taught, so I think that definitely creates its own challenges, as opposed to like learning something more of a classroom setting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide all this right now. Not, oh, hold on. So I need to take all this, and I don't want to undo my work, right? So I'm going to group this. I'm going to hide it. So because what I want to do is I want to readjust my star now. So I'm going to, my angle, set it back to 0 because I don't want it to be rotated anymore. The rotation earlier made sense, but now it does not make sense. And in here, I'm going to adjust it to be a perfect square size. So I'm just going to do 1 inch point 25, and the same thing as 1 inch point 25. Now that I have, oh, actually I'm going to go back in and I'm going to lock in my size so my ratio doesn't get messed up anymore. And now I'm just going to realign center by center, and here I have it. Now I'm going to go back to my lines because I don't have to redraw them again, and I'm going to ungroup them and go back to, reattaching my points, and hopefully now that I made this adjustment, the alignment is going to be much better. So this is a rough draft, right? Once I'm finished with this, I'm actually going to do further finessing, where I'll be aligning my points to make sure that they're precise, and a lot of this like behind the scene type of a deal you don't quite see when you create the when you have an end result, but that's what all of our SVGs are. They just a bunch of like points, and then we need to have them aligned so it's all clean, neat, and looks very decent. Okay, it still looks pretty skewed to me, and I don't quite know why that's the case. I wonder, like, if I realign them to go inside the star, they're going to do a better job, and I think that's what it is. I need to be aligning it on the, not on the pointy end, but to go inside. Because now, as you can see, my alignment is starting to look a lot better. Like there is no this skewing from one side to another. So any case, I just wanted to do a little, like show you a little bit of a behind the scenes, show you what it looks like, what we have to struggle with. And if you guys have any questions, or if you have any pointers for me because you're an experienced graphic designer and you think that, this can be accomplished much easier, definitely ping me, give me the tips. If you are a fellow Gravit designer user, for sure, reach out. I'd love to know how you do your graphics and how you using the tools. All right, I hope that was fun and informative. All the best.